Now, our next guest has been racing in Formula One with McLaren under the British flag since he was just 19 years old.
As he prepares to take on the British Grand Prix's iconic Silverstone circuit this weekend, Lando Norris joins us now live from Silverstone to tell us how he's getting on. But regardless of what happens, it's fair to say he qualifies in pole position as one of our favourite ever Formula One drivers.
Absolutely.
He's one of our... Morning, Lando.
Good
How are
morning.
you?
Good morning. How are you?
Do you know, Lando, we're excited because we talk about Wimbledon, we talk about all these iconic sporting events, but the British Grand Prix at Silverstone is so special, and I imagine hugely special for you as well, Lando.
Yes, of course. The most special of the whole season, the one I look forward to the most, mainly because of, I say only because of the fans and the supporters. They're the ones that make it as special as it is. So I'm super excited, not just to drive again and drive in front of my home crowd, but for the rest of it, seeing all the fans, seeing the people in my T-shirts and my caps and McLaren clothing. It's insane, but also just a lot of fun at the same time. So a lot of smiling, and I look forward to the whole thing.
I bet you do. And how are you feeling going into it? Because we know that there's sort of further upgrades to come, which sounds promising.
Yes, you done your research, huh?
Yes, I have.
Yes, I think we took some steps forward last weekend. We took some steps forward already last weekend in Austria, which was good, and we've had our best result of the season. So that was positive for everyone. It made the team very happy, and it was nice to see those steps kind of come in immediately and the progress show immediately. And then we got some more this weekend, which is even better. More things to try and improve us in front of the home crowd and put on a good show and have a good weekend. So, yes, I'm looking forward to the whole thing. We're getting there. It's been quite a tough start to the season, I'm not going to lie. It's been just difficult, a lack of speed, lack of performances, but we've recently taken some small steps forward, and hopefully this weekend we can take another one too, which is going to be great.
Look, we know you want to be so much higher up, the Drivers' Championship, the Constructors' Championship as well. But, like, there are ups and downs in any sporting season, particularly in Formula One. Interesting, those upgrades before Austria as well, and they pumped you up to 4th place. A really good finish for you. Unusual circumstances, and you've got a good friend in Fernando Alonso to let you know what was actually going on. Tell us what happened in Austria last weekend.
Yes, I mean, it's a long story, I guess, but to make it simple, there was obviously a lot of penalties and things because it's one of the most difficult tracks to keep it within the white lines, within the track limits. There's a ruling that you have to stay within them, and many people weren't. But I did. I was a good boy, so I didn't get any penalties, but many other people did, and that bumped me from 5th to 4th. And I didn't actually know until after I landed back in the UK. It was like, what, 4 hours after the race, so... I spoke to Fernando before I took off because I knew that they protested or appealed their result or whatever, and I thought he was going to have a go at me or something, but he actually was the opposite. So when I landed, I had a nice surprise that we gained 1 position already, which is the easiest position of the whole day. But the rules are the rules, so it's as simple as that.
Those are the rules, and you were a good boy. They were handed out a total of 12 penalties to 8 different drivers, and you made it quite known across the radio to your team that you thought that Lewis had behaved quite badly.
Yeah. I mean, nothing personal as a fellow Brit, but it's tough. Like we were quicker than the Mercedes, which was a great result. It was a bit of a surprise. We weren't expecting maybe to be quite as quick as them, but. I put Lewis under a lot of pressure in the beginning of the race, and I guess simply he just made too many mistakes of running wide and making, I mean, small mistakes. It's not even like a big mistake. It's you run a couple of centimeters too wide and you get a penalty for it. But as drivers, you complain about everything, no matter who it is, no matter what they've done, whatever. So yes, I was saying what I had to say. Simple as that. And it paid off in the end of the day. But we managed to beat them fair and square on the actual racetrack, which was, I guess, an extra bonus too.
Lando, you're so polite. It's hard to imagine you being angry about anything. But, you know, I love the driver's radio, the conversations you get to earwig into. It's fantastic. It's like seeing inside the dressing room in any sport. It's a real treat. My son, Milo, he's a big F1 fan, and he thinks that all the drivers should be allowed to talk to each other during the race.
Imagine the road rage, though.
So, like, say the weekend when Lewis went off and he went a bit wide, you should be able to go, "Oi, Hamilton, rate it in." What do you think? Good idea for next season?
I'm watching you. I mean, you'll get to a point where you kind of just shout at people in the middle of the corner and try to distract them, and you'll say things to try annoy them even more, things that you probably shouldn't say. But I don't mind. It sounds like a good idea. If it entertains the fans more, then you never know. Maybe it's got the next best thing.
You could distract them with your singing.
I'll distract more than just him and my singing. So it'll distract everyone in the world, which is a problem.
We liked the singing. We want you to bring that back. What they are bringing back, which has been very, very popular indeed, is the colour of the car, going back to the iconic chrome car. And that's something... That car in particular meant a lot to you. It was quite an inspiring vehicle, that one.
Yeah, I mean, it was what kind of got me into Formula One. I was into motorbikes before, but the thing that actually got me into Formula One was seeing Lewis and Fernando, the guys that I so casually race against now every weekend. They were the guys that I was watching when I was 6, 7 years old. And this was the livery that McLaren had back then, 2007, 2008, and so on. And that's, I fell in love with whatever was cool. Like, that's what you do, I guess, when you're a kid, is what's cool, and then you kind of cheer them on or you support them, whatever. So they were the coolest to me, McLaren, back then. And they were the people I was supporting. And I supported Lewis. I kind of supported Fernando, I guess, but more Lewis because he was the Brit. And now we're bringing a bit of that history back to what we are now. I guess it's in partnership with Google Chrome and so on, but to do it at the British Grand Prix, not my British Grand Prix. To do it at the British Grand Prix, to kind of relive some of the history. It will be. You're right, it will be. But to do it back at the British Grand Prix, it's a bigger bonus, yep. It's something special.
Lando, it might seem like a ridiculous question, but can you actually hear... So the crowds are huge. There'll be well over 100,000 over the course of the weekend. Practice starts tomorrow, of course. But, like, can you hear them? Because it's noisy in the cockpit of that car, right? How do you sense the crowds? It
is pretty noisy. You can definitely sense them. If anyone tells you they can hear that they can hear them, it's BS. They're lying to you. No one can hear them when you're inside the car. But I mean, you feel them. Like, you watch them. I watch them. I look at them, and especially, the best bit is when you do an overtake. Then they all kind of stand up or give you a round of applause or cheer for you, whatever it is. And you notice it because you have a couple of seconds every now and then to look up into the crowd and see them. And they make it just that little bit more enjoyable and exciting and so on. I guess they motivate you at the same time, which is a very special thing because you want to go out and you want to put in a good performance. You want to do your people proud who are there, who have come from wherever they are in the UK or wherever, other countries, to support you. You want to do them proud. So, home race is an advantage because it just helps you push that little bit more.
It's a shame we don't have more time because Holly was going to talk us through the upgrades. But we've got to run out of time.
Craig, don't do this. Do not do this to me. I was earlier on, the only upgrades I could think of was playing Super Mario Kart with my son, but I don't think any of those are included on the vehicle that's
It would be better, though, if you could fire watermelons and stuff out.
You've got to stop coming up with these ideas.
It would be, I agree with that.
Just moving the sport forward. Good luck, Lando.
Oh, we wish you the best of luck. We'll be watching. And, you got this. You got
Good to see you again.
This. Yeah, and you as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Take care.
Qualifying begins 3 p.m. on Saturday with build-up from 2:15. Build-up on Sunday's Grand Prix begins at 1:30 ahead of the race at 3 p.m. All on Sky Sports Formula One.
That was fun. Do you want to do the rugby with me next season?
Yes, I've got a few suggestions for that as well.